Good morning, everybody. This is Smitty. Was it March 4th, 2020? This is my thoughts. First, I want to talk about taking down a tree. Here, I cut this limb off. It branched out like this up here where there was two big limbs, but it was out over my RV. One would have dropped right there, maybe took out the line on the propane tank, and the other one would have took out the trailer. There's a chicken. Only chicken I got left. Darn fox. But yeah, this is from when you ain't watching the limb that's or the branch that's attached to the limb that you're sawing. You ain't noticing it, that it's caught on a branch that you're not sawing, and it comes down and whacks you in the nose. Healing up pretty good, but I got it, getting it all cleaned up pretty good here. I got little brush pile here to burn. This is wood. I'm just gonna give it away, or save it for campfire. And I got a lot of brush up there in that area to burn yet. And I got some stuff to rake up here to clean this up. These here timbers are here to tell me how high I got to raise the dirt around here in the yard to bring it up so it ain't so wet. But sorry about turning the phone around like that. I don't know how to turn the camera around on it. I ain't exactly savvy about doing that. But I thought I'd also share my thoughts on this coronavirus. To me, there's a lot of fear-mongering going on with this thing. Yes, there's 9 people dead. They're in Washington State. The latest 4 that passed away. Unfortunately for family members, you know, that's something you don't look forward to. But anyways, you know, this is Leonardo. Good boy. Good boy. Anyways, excuse me here a little bit. 39 degrees out here a little bit. Not too bad, really, but anyways, yeah, coronavirus, it's a bad flu. That's what it amounts to. And people shouldn't get all shook up too much about things. I mean, whoa, I didn't want to do that. Turned the light on, couldn't see. But yeah, I mean, it's bad for people. And like I say, it's bad that some people have died, but there's 84,000 people in the United States infected with this, according to my sources. And but you look at the general population of the United States is what? It's 243 or 343 million people. So it's bad, you know. I wouldn't want to be one of the 9 myself to die from some flu bug. But I would think that the government would get a better handle on this, so that too. It seems to me awful funny that we're talking about this, and the president had a meeting with pharmaceutical companies, the private sector, and all of a sudden they're near a cure or some kind of assistance to help people survive it. And now there was a battle for, it seems like a patent battle. So it kind of made me think, you know, how long has this been out? Now, my sources also tell me that China knew about this way before we actually found out about it. This was known, according to my sources, it was known in late May of 2019 about this coronavirus. So it's not a good thing. But anyways, there's a lot of fear mongering going on too, trying to make people panic. But in my area, I don't see people panicking. I see people, they know that, yeah, we're going to be in the 40s and 50s this week in the Midwest in Michigan. So, yeah, you're going to have, it's flu season. So you're going to have people that prepare for it. We're more prepared for it. We're used to colder climates in the winter and everything. So, there's that. Now on to another issue. With the election coming up, there's those that said something, and I'll give a mention to Outlaw Morgan, who done a very good call on this, how they're going to push Bernie right out. I mean, he was right all along. He said they're not going to let Bernie have the candidacy. They'll find some way to, as he jokingly said, welcome to socialism, Bernie. We're going to redistribute your delegates. But Mayor Pete Buttigieg, or whatever, however you pronounce his name, and Amy Klobuchar dropped out all of a sudden. So, I don't know exactly what's going on. Well, I do. Somebody told him just get the hell out of the way. Sorry about that. But anyways, that was that. And I heard mentioned from people that Amy Klobuchar might be Joe Biden's running mate when he wins the nomination. And he's going to win the nomination as far as the Democratic nomination. Now, when it comes to the presidency, he's got a tough challenge against President Trump. But the only problem I see President Trump having is the national debt. Now, common sense tells you that coffee, good. But common sense would tell you that if more people are working, let me turn this light off here a little bit, but if more people are working than ever in recorded history, even with tax cuts, you should see a national debt shrinking, not increasing. So he's going to have to work on that. Trump is really going to have to acquire that. I know he had a tough road ahead here getting this economy turned back around, and he's done it. I mean, Obama said manufacturing jobs are just gone. It would take a magic wand to bring them back. And that was under Joe Biden as vice president as well. So when Trump came in, manufacturing is picking up. Yeah, and I ain't talking about $9, $10 an hour jobs. I've seen, for the first time in my employable history of my life, I've seen factories not only advertising that they're hiring, which I've seen that before, but I see them actually putting their wage that they're going to pay out. I mean, I see the general labor's job was $17.65 an hour to start. And skilled labor was around $27.56 an hour, which is a tool and die maker. So that's pretty unique. But and a lot of it has to do, people got to understand that corporations want a certain party in the White House and in the Senate and in the House, of course, because if they could make more profit by paying less taxes, that's the guy they want to go with. So corporations might have been withholding their money to do anything under the Obama administration until they got rid of that socialistic idea. Because, well, let's face it, I mean, Republican or Democrat, for Congress, the record running for Congress over the last 50 years has not been good. I mean, I hear about these people, Dianne Feinstein, she's been there 26 years. And in 26 years, America's future looked pretty bleak. It didn't look good. And Nancy Pelosi, and you got even Mitch McConnell, you got some of them other people in there that's been in there for a while. It's common sense. It says term limits is a necessity now more than ever. But, I mean, if it's good enough for the president to serve 2 terms, then it should be good enough for Congress. But, and we hire these people to work for us. The American government is a business. It's the people's business. It's the people of America's business. And if it's not running right, then it's time to change leadership. So that's what people have to look at. The stock markets, I heard everybody's like, oh yeah, it was great. Yesterday it was 12, day before yesterday it was up 1,200, 1,400 points or something. And they was really hammering on how it was down 785. We gained all that back. It's up quite a bit. I think it's up 652 points was the last I checked on it. But, and a lot of people don't have, a lot of working Americans don't have stocks. I mean, they got 401ks, but they don't really go out and buy 200,000 shares of Verizon or anything like that. Now, I'm not promoting that you go out and buy Verizon stock by any means, but I look for a lot of these manufacturers and technologies. They come out in April with new technologies, and they like to test the waters. And if their technologies pan out, then by July you'll see an increase in the stock market. And I'm thinking by the end of July, mid-August, you're going to see stocks. The Dow Jones is going to be over 30,000 points, which most people say, well, you know, I don't have stocks. How does that affect me? It affects you because when corporations have stocks, especially in other companies, and they're profiting, they share them profits in the form of building new factories, manufacturing facilities, and in job hiring. So I would look for, if I'm retired, so. But if I was you and you're looking for work, I would look for a factory or facility that not only offers a decent wage, but also offers some seminar training, maybe some college classes that you do online or something where you can do after work, you know, or they send you to do some kind of training where you can improve your skills to improve your performance and availability to work. Now, there's going to be places that's not going to send you to learn stuff to have you just leave them and run off to another employer, because they're going to make sure that they're paying you enough to keep you there. I see competitive, not wages, but competitive factories. They're competing with each other, raising the wages. We're raising the wages. Michigan, Indiana, Ohio are accelerating pretty good pace with employment. It's the first time in, 30 or 40 years, 50 years, that I've seen where you could actually leave your job that day and go the next day to another job. I don't suggest you do that. I suggest you give the complimentary 2-week notice to your employer saying, hey, look, I don't feel like my ambitions are being met here, so I'm thinking I'm going to turn in my 2-week notice of resignation. And the reason why that is because your employer will then ask you, well, what is it we can do to convince you to stay with us? Or is this just something you just tired of doing this, you're going off in another field, or what? And a lot of times they'll make things more competitive or kind of compensatory so that you stay with them. Anyways, I've talked long enough here. That's just my thoughts. Feel free to leave a comment. Like if you like the video. If you don't like the video, hey, there's other channels. Just change the channel. But all right, thank you and have a great day. Bye.